edition of Brownsville As Is with
A for Shauna.
S for Sonia.
Oh, this is interesting.
I feel like I'm in an episode of MASH.
I know. Da, 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 right? You want to tell everybody where we are?
Yeah, well, actually, we're just a little ways down the road
That's
in
right.
Halls, Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
We're on the air base here in Halls,
Yeah.
on the airfield at the Veterans Museum.
That's right. And I know that someone is waiting to hear from us. You want to share who our special guest is today?
Miss Pat Higdon,
Mhm.
who is the director here at the museum,
Yes.
is going to share all about these wonderful artifacts.
And she greeted us with a smile.
Absolutely.
And I'm ready to go back and see her.
And she always has a funny story.
Oh, gosh, yes. You ready?
Let's go.
Y'all, come on.
My name is Pat Higdon, and I'm the museum director at the Dyersburg Army Air Base Memorial Association Veterans Museum. We are on a base that trained soldiers in crews to fly the B-17 in combat. When we first opened the museum, the men would drive up and leave their wives in the car or the truck. And they'd be out there knitting or reading a book or something. And I would say, "Why isn't your wife coming in? She don't like military." Just like that. And I said, "Well, I don't either. But I'm going out and get her." So I went out there, and I'd go out there and have them roll down the window. And I would say, "I know you don't like military, but our museum is about people. It's about your people. It's about your family. It's about my family." And I said, "You're going to love it if you'll come in." Then when the women would start to come in, they wanted to sit in here around this table when they finished. They wanted to talk. And 9 times out of 10, they would tell me about their families who'd been in the service, about how they lived during World War II, some of them back as far as the Depression, which was really interesting. But one of them said, she came in and she was talking to me and she said, "I know you don't know some of this. You probably won't believe it." And I said, "Well, I don't know." She said, "I lived on a farm." Not a farm, she lived on a farm outside of Halls. And she said when the B-17s took off, it scared our horses so they would about run themselves to death. The cows went dry, and the chickens quit laying eggs. So I thought, she's making that up. So I started checking, and it happened. And it was in one of the box prop newspapers from the base newspaper about the government paying them compensation for production lost. See, if the woman had not come in, if we had not talked, I never would have known about that. This base was a hub of activity during World War II. Trained 7,700 crewmen, and we had 115 deaths. And that's because it was high altitude training. They had to learn to fly in formation here. And the B-17s hadn't been in service that long when we first started. We had 770 crews. We have 73 pictures on the wall. So some people we have not been able to reach, and possibly never will. And we have exhibits in here. We have a wedding dress of Marty Murphy, who met her husband here. And he was from New York. And after they met, they married. And then she moved around with him during his military history. And then she came back, and after he died, and she came back to Ripley. But then you see World War I, World War II, which first starts with Dyersburg Army Air Base. and then World War II European. Then we go through the rationing, home life, how it was at home, exhibits on that. Then when you go out of the conference room, we go into World War II in the Pacific, the Navy and the Marines, and then Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, and up to date. In the vehicle room, we have vehicles from World War II through Korea, and well, actually through Vietnam. We also have our library in here. It's called the Sammy Arnold Library, because he paid for most of the books that we bought that were precious books. Now, a lot of them people gave them to us, but most of them he bought. The kiosk was the most likable thing, and you can find the history of the base on there with someone that sounds like a famous narrator, but he's not. And also you can find scrapbooks on there. You can find some of the TV shows I've recorded, some of the interviews we've recorded. The kids enjoy the vehicles, just name it, pure and simple. Guns and knives, airplanes. They think it's fun to see the Memphis Belle, because people still talk about her a lot, although she's gone to Ohio. They like you to tell them stories. The message is, remember history, come to the Veterans Museum in Halls, and bring $5. And a story. Bring a story, because that's how we get our stories. Our location is on Highway 51 south from Dyersburg, 13 miles south, and we are 45 miles west from Jackson, and you'll start seeing our signs on Highway 88 after you come through the town of Halls, and the signs will lead you directly in. Our hours, we're open 7 days a week. And on Saturday and Sunday, it's 1 to 5. During the week, we have our office hours from 9 o'clock until 4:30. We try to embrace the veterans and their families and let them know how special they are. And we want you to leave here knowing the same thing.
Hey, Shauna, are you ready to take off?
I think I am. It's been a wonderful day here at the Veterans Museum in Halls. And thanks to Pat.
I told you she'd be full of wonderful stories.
And funny stories. Oh my goodness,
We
funny
laughed
stories.
the whole time.
Yeah, I think it's time to take flight. What do you think?
Yes, let's go.
See y'all.